Hungry?
I don't like Sundays.
Oh, it's not a sundae. It's a banana split.
I don't like those either.
A few moments later.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. I hate dealing in hypotheticals. The world is crazy enough. Reality is stranger than fiction. And so, let's jump into some reality, which is that if there was a body found in the pool of Mar-a-Lago, and that body was naked, and somebody very close knew all of Donald Trump's darkest, deepest secrets, and that body was found with a strange woman next to it, do you think there'd be a couple of questions in the corporate press about that? Do you think people would be saying, oh, okay, I would like to know what happened here, sir, Mr. President? Let's say that Donald Trump had the police delete all of the evidence and delete all of the information about the 911 phone calls, about the dead body that washed up in the pool in Mar-a-Lago, that was naked, that was a Trump associate. Maybe people would be like, I don't know, this looks a little weird. Perhaps, like, you should face some questions about what the hell happened at your house, Mr. President. That's exactly what's happening with Barack Obama right now. This is, of course, footage from the Edgartown Pond. But is it actually footage from a crime scene? That is a question that we've been asking for a while. We seem to be the only people that ever actually ask these questions anymore, but it remains such a mystery to us, the death at Barack Obama's mansion. Barack Obama has a 30-acre mansion in Martha's Vineyard. Barack Obama likes his privacy. Barack Obama has a very tight-knit group of people around him, and one of those people, his name's Tafari Campbell. Tafari Campbell was a competent swimmer, a good swimmer, and was an athlete. He was in great shape. Tafari Campbell went for a paddleboard one night with a mysterious young woman who was also an Obama staffer, and they never came back. What we now know is that Tafari Campbell didn't have any of his clothes on when he went paddleboarding and then drowned. Was he killed? Did he die? Well, we know he died. But what are the circumstances around that death? We still don't know. But now we know, well, that Tafari Campbell, and here's an image of him with his old bosses there, Tafari Campbell, the White House chef, was in a, I suppose, compromising position. Here we go. This is from the Daily Mail. Exclusive, Tafari Campbell's paddleboarding clothing were found with no sign of staffer within 16 minutes of start of search for tragic Obama chef. Starting in Martha's Vineyard, police report reveals. An incident report provided to the Daily Mail by the Edgartown Police reveals that the Secret Service agent reported Tafari Campbell missing on July 23rd, just like what we talked about. Where the hell was the Secret Service? We'll get there in just a second. The agent, whose identity is redacted, called about a possible drowning and revealed that a rescue swimmer and Zodiac boat had been deployed to find him. Wait a second. Hold on. There was a rescue swimmer? So there was a scuba diver sent out to try and find him? The 911 call was placed and the search teams were sent out immediately afterward, and they recovered his clothes. So was he naked? I mean, hold on. Do you have to assume that he was, if they have all of his clothing, what does that mean? Huh? What the hell is going on at the Obamas? He's paddleboarding naked? Again, I am not here to speculate, nor am I here to speak ill of the dead. Obviously, every death is a tragedy. The man had wife, children. He leaves behind a wife and children. And according to all of the anecdotes from people who knew him, Tafari Campbell seemed like a really good, upstanding dude. So what the hell? I seem to be the only person that wants to honor his memory by trying to figure out what's going on here. And here's what we know. We know that the Obamas have lied. We know the Obamas said initially that they were not on the island. That was a lie. We know that the Secret Service and the police have not been forthright with their information on what is going on as it pertains to this investigation. Police call log reporting Tafari Campbell's drowning was left blank. Why was it left blank? You can see here, of course, the explicit screenshot of that call log. Boom. There you go. Left blank. Everything else, here's a check on this thing, here's a little check on that thing, here's a stolen car, and here's the call for the drowning. Why the hell didn't the Secret Service, who are in tip-top shape, go out and try and help the guy? Well, now it turns out that they did, according to the Daily Mail. They tried to help what you have to assume was a naked or nearly naked Obama chef out on a paddleboard with a mysterious young woman who was not his wife, who worked for Barack Obama. Who was that person? The witness, whose identity is redacted, contacted the authorities about a possible drowning and requested at least an ambulance in response to the scene. The agent told officers a rescue swimmer and a Zodiac boat had been deployed to find Campbell, but they didn't find him for another day. He was recovered in the morning. His body was recovered in the morning. The call prompted a rapid search operation during which authorities recovered Campbell's paddleboard and clothes immediately within 16 minutes, but no contact with the missing party. Campbell had been out on the pond with another fellow Obama staffer, a female, who was on a separate paddleboard. The report, however, did not specify the articles of clothing found, nor did it provide further information the other witnesses, the second paddleboarder. It wasn't until the next morning that the chef's body was found in shallow water next to Obama's home. So wait a second. Like, I can't. It boggles the mind. Here's the actual police report. There you go. Here's the actual police report. Please, as ever, I demand that you look at the evidence for yourself, as we have done here. All right? I demand that you look at the evidence for yourself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to see that they sent out vessels to go and try and find him. When arriving at the location, responders were advised of one party in the water, described as approximately 40-year-old male wearing all black. He would later be identified as Tafari Campbell. Well, that's interesting. When arriving at the location, responders were advised of one party in the water, described as approximately 40-year-old man wearing all black. Does that mean he was in a... What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean he was in a scuba suit? They don't say. He would later be identified as Tafari Campbell. I made contact with the emergency department, where we launched boats and command operations. Once the location, we established a command post. I requested a helicopter. So they were doing a lot of work to try and find this man. They searched and they yielded no result. Both air wings conducted until their fuel supply. They returned to base. They looked. They couldn't find him. They looked until 11 p.m. So they looked really hard to find him. The next morning, the dive team continued, and deceased Mr. Campbell was located using sonar. So, again, like, this is not a big pond. How did it take this long to find this man? This guy was in great shape. Look at this guy. This guy knew how to swim. Look at this guy. Here he is. This is from his now deleted or locked Instagram account. So they deep sixed the guy's Instagram account. He used to have a public Instagram account. Now they've locked everything down. Why would they do that? Well, here's a video of Tafari Campbell swimming. Apparently he drowned in 8 feet of water. What? Come on, man. And they found all of his clothes, assuming he was either naked or in a scuba suit. But why would he go into a scuba? Who paddleboards in a full scuba suit? It's summer. I mean, I live on the water. You don't do that. People go to the beach in Cape Cod all the time. This is when everyone goes to the beach there. It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. Why did it take so long to find him? How did he drown? He knows how to swim. Here he is swimming. We're doing our level how to best to be respectful of the deceased, but we deserve the answers to these questions. Meanwhile, Barack and Michelle Obama, clearly scandalized by this tragedy, are hamming it up and celebrating at the U.S. Open and cheering and jiving and dancing. Here they go. And panning the crowd and running for president against Joe Biden, obviously. Yeah. So it's clearly distressed, these people. Clearly distressed. I'm distressed. This man deserves his family deserves some type of answers. Nothing makes sense. Why didn't the Secret Service jump in and help? Why did a guy who knew how to swim drown? Why did he drown in 8 feet of water? Why wasn't he wearing any clothes? What, at the very least, like, what are the circumstances around him, like, going missing? Who was the staffer who was out paddleboarding with him? Of course, she would know what's going on. Where's the video camera? There's videos everywhere around Barack Obama's premises. Where's the video camera of all this stuff? Why did it take authorities so long to find him? Why did the authorities leave blank their investigation, the reason for the 911 phone call? And why won't they tell us anything about the autopsy report? That's just off the top of my head. I'm sure there are 20 other big questions that we have. We're the only ones who want justice for Tafari Campbell, and we'll continue to seek it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe to end the communism that Barack Obama represents. See ya.